final race on Halloween, meaning tomorrow, Friday, October 31st. It is the Distaff. It's for 3-year-olds and up. So it's a marathon, 9 furlongs on turf. There are 11 horses entered. Horse no paces or Shermar, who's being tired. No beholder, who's sitting down with an illness. But we will see her next year, very likely. So there will be a new champion. Once again, this year, great group of fellows, mixture of some favorites and long shots, but like when I mean that in particular, they're going to be set favorites and set long shots. This video is going to be a little bit longer than the rest of the videos I did in the past. I have a lot to talk about. This probably will be the length of enough babbling from me. I have 11 horses to talk about, so let's get right into them. Here is the field for this year's DSF Number 1 is L'Amour de ma vie, I believe is how to pronounce her name. Maxime Guyon will ride for Pia Brandt. She's by Dan Stilley, 7th and 4th in 2 Grade 1s in France. For the Distaff and for the Classic, the setup's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about a pro about each horse and a con about each horse. Pros about her, she is a Group 2 winner in Dubai, and she's Group 2 place in England. Cons, this is her first U.S. start and has faltered in Group 1 races. Overseas, this is going to be her conventional dirt debut. She does have a dirt pedigree on her dam side, I believe. Definitely not on her sire side, because Dan Silly was definitely a tough horse. But yeah, I don't think she has any chance in this race. And obviously, she probably came here because to avoid the Philly Mare Turf, where there are several very, very nice European and American fillies in theirs. Number 2 is Tis Midnight. She is by Midnight Loot. Victor Espinoza will ride for Bob Outford. Second in the Zenyatta behind Beholder, who of course unfortunately is not here. That was her stakes debut. Pros, Sire won the sprint twice, and Trainer has many BC race winners. Other than Midnight Loot, he was the trainer of Silver Bullet Day. Cons, it did take a while for her to break her maiden, and her Tufts' assist was one of the favorites in the Distaff. I believe it was 7. And she did not do well there. So that kind of concerns me. I mean, obviously, she can go 9 furlongs, as she showed in the Zenyatta, by finishing well, but I don't know. I really don't know. Number 3 is Iotapa. Joe Talamo will ride for John Sadler. Third in the Zenyatta and won the Clement L. Hirsch. Some pros about her. For a while, Beholder was injured after her Phipps 4th place finish. So she took the summer off. And during that time, Iotapa was the leading West Coast horse. So that she held the spot well with 2 Grade 1 wins. One at Santa Anita and one at Del Mar. If there's any con, it's the fact that she only has 2 wins at Santa Anita. But you could say the same thing about Tis Midnight, who probably has, I'm not sure if she has any wins. And of course, several other horses in this field don't have any wins at San Diego. That being said, she's based at the track, so take it for what you want. Number 4 is Belaganti. Jose Ortiz will ride for Rudy Rodriguez. She's by Aftermarket, won the Bell Dame, and was 6th in the personal ensign. She is a speedball. She will go right to the front, and that is one of her pros, is that speed will be a monster factor. If she doesn't get to the lead early, don't be surprised if she goes gate to wire. She defeated Princess of Silmar that way. She defeated Stop Charging Maria that way in the Delaware Handicap and Beldame, respectively. Personal Ensign was on a sloppy track. She probably didn't care for the track condition that day. That's why she did so poorly there. But her con is since entering 6 companies, she's run good and poor in every other race. That there's a similar horse in the Classic that we'll talk about tomorrow who has a similar finishing when you look at his record. It's good to be more consistent in that, and that's my only big concern about her. Number 5 is Unbridled Forever. John Velasquez will ride for Dallas Stewart. She is by Unbridled Son. 2nd in the Indiana Oaks, 8th in the Alabama. Pros has shown good form in most of her races against her own age group, 3-year-old. She's actually the first 3-year-old in this race. There are several more to come. And her mom, Lemons Forever, upset the Kentucky Oaks in 2006, I want to say. Yeah, 2006. Cons, tough class test may cost her, and the fact that she was 8th in the Alabama really doesn't give me a lot of faith in her. I think she would prefer like a lesser company, but unfortunately there isn't much for fillies for 3-year-olds in particular this time of year, so she really has no choice but to go here. Before I talk about Stanwyck a little bit, I need to send condolences to her owners, Jerry and Ann Moss. If you know who their big mare was when she was racing, of course that being Zenyatta, I believe on Tuesday, her wheeling filly by Wharfrun was in a paddock accident and unfortunately had to be euthanized. So condolences to Mr. and Mrs. Moss, to John Sheriffs, who would have trained the filly in all likelihood, and everyone at Lane's End where Zenyatta lives. She's not in full this year, so yeah. But getting back to Stanwyck, she is not going to be ridden by Mike Smith. She's number 6. Corey Nakatani will ride for John Sheriffs. She is by Empire Maker, 4th in the Bell Dame, 3rd in the Personal Ensign. Pros, her half-brother, Tiago, won the Santa Anita Derby, and another one, pro is that their half-brother is Giacomo, the 2005 Kentucky Derby, who of course beat Iowa Tapa's sire, athlete Alex, before Alex turned the tables on Giacomo, but here, not there. Cons, she really is right now not in the same category as Zenyatta, who won the Distaff when it was renamed the Ladies Classic, and Life is Sweet, who won the 09 edition, was also a sheriff's trainee, but just different owners. but I really like her. Fact that she ran well in New York. Should enjoy being back in California though. Number 7 is Don't Tell Sophia. Joe Rocco Jr. will ride for Phil Sim. She is by Congaree. Won the Locust Grove and then defeated the favorite for the Distaff Close Hatches in the Spinster. Before I go any further, I just want to let you guys know that when sales happen, most people look for like horses that are going to go 6 figures into the millions. And I'm not sure if there are any this year that sold for 6 figures. Probably 7 figures. There are probably some that sold for 6 figures. Don't Tell Sophia cost $1,000. And she has finally put it together at the age of 6. She's only lost once this year. Has done well in grade 1s in the past, but that's where her con is that this will only be her 3rd grade 1 of her career. But I still really love her. Actually, matter of fact, when she beat Close Hatches, I felt that she was going to either win the Distaff or be very close to winning the Distaff. And I will talk about her more when we get to the picks. Number 8 is Valiant Amelia. Rafael Bejarano will ride for Gary Mandela. She is by Congaree. She's by Pegasus Wind. Don't Tell Sophia is by Congaree, as I said before. She won the Cesar del Rio Sutil in Peru to win her spot into this year's Distaff. Pros is that South American horses have had success winning the Distaff. It's been a while though, but Paciana and Bayacoa, both Argentinian-bred fillies, won the Distaff in the 90s. Valiant Amelia is trying to become the first Peruvian bred to win a Breeders' Cup race. I actually read an article, I believe on DRF, the other day. She was actually supposed to go to Michael Matz, but he recommended that she go straight to California because it would have been 2 big trips from Peru to Maryland and then from Maryland to California. So by doing it this way, going from Peru to California, it's less stress on her. She's trained by Gary Mandela because at the time, his father, Richard Mandela, had Beholder. Of course, Beholder got ill, so Richard is out. Enter Gary, of course, who works for HRTV. And actually there's a trainer in the Classic who's in a very similar situation. But I will talk about that in a little bit tomorrow. But, yeah, as I said, South American horses have had success winning the Distaff. There's a con. The con is that she hasn't faced these type of horses yet. They are much, much stronger in North America than they are South America. There have been Paciana and Bayacoa have been exceptions to that rule, but the fact is that these horses are a lot tougher. Invastor lost in Dubai to Discreet Cat. Of course, when he came to the U.S., he ran everyone off their feet. Can Valiant Amelia do that to these fillies? I don't think she'll do it this year, but if she stays in the U.S. and she has a full year of training under Gary Mandela, I think she could be a big, big factor next year. Number 9, oh boy, is Rhea Antonia. Paco Lopez will ride for Tom Amos. She's by Rockport Harbor. Oh boy. Second in the Spinster, fourth in the Locust Grove. She won the Juvenile Fillies last year via DQ. Not a great year. This is her third trainer in the year. Spinster has been her only solid start. That's a con. Mismanaged. She went from from East Coast to West Coast to Midwest. Hold on, I need to look this up for a minute. Because it's bugging the heck of me. I'm trying to think of what her, not her trainer in Woodbine, because she actually came from Woodbine to Finger Lakes, last year. I want to get his first name correct. If I could spell Rhea Antonia. But anyway, I was so proud of her last year when she had won the Juvenile Fillies via DQ because Rockport Harbor, who was one of my favorite horses when he was running, had passed away earlier that year. But fourth in the Rachel Alexandra, and then ran well in the Standing the Oaks, but wasn't fantastic. Then she went to the Preakness. That was a disaster. But yeah, Jeremiah Englehart. I'm sorry. So she went from Jeremiah Englehart to Bob Baffert, now to Tom Amos. I don't know. I think if she loses this race, I wouldn't be surprised if she's retired. Or switch trainers again. I'm missing a horse. You know who I'm missing? I'm missing number 11. Shoot, I gotta do that later. Number 10 is Untappable. Rosina Provnik will ride for Steve Asmussen. She is by Tappet. Won the Cotillion, 5th in the Haskell. Rebounded nicely. That's a pro against her own sex. Cons, older females are better. 3-year-old fillies really haven't shown enough in 2-turn races. The horse she beat in the Cotillion, Sweet Reason, is going to the filly and mare sprint, and as you saw in yesterday's preview, I'm not 100% sold on her winning because of her minor injury she has. But yeah, she is the best 3-year-old in this race. Over Unbridled Forever. I thought there were more 3-year-olds, but it's just her, Rhea, and Untappable. But getting back to Untappable, I just feel like that she's... I didn't like that Cotillion. And last but not least is number 11, Phyllis Hatches. Julia Rosario will ride for Bill Mott. Thankfully, I know her sire. She's by First Defense. Second in last year's Distaff. She ran very poorly in the Spinster, though. And she won the personal ensign. So, I don't know. I have no idea what happened in the Spinster, but just the way Don't Tell Sophia blew everybody's doors off. I don't know. If she's, whatever happened there can, hopefully it's out of her system now and she'll return to the winner's circle, but I'm not 100% sold on that. I could be wrong. She's surprised me in the past. But I think if she loses here to Don't Tell Sophia, I think it's going to end up costing her the Eclipse for a champion older female. So again, the field for the Distaff this year is number 1, L'Amour de ma vie. Number 2, Tis Midnight. Number 3, Io Tappa. Number 4, Bel Ganti. Number 5, Unbridled Forever. Number 6, Stanwyck. Number 7, Don't Tell Sophia. Number 8, Valiant Amelia. Number 9, Ria Antonia. Number 10, Untappable. Number 11, Closed Hatches. That is your field for the Distaff. So up next are the picks for this year's Breeders' Cup Distaff. So the picks for the Distaff are the following. I have been going back and forth whether to go with Closed Hatches or Minus Sophia to win the race. And in the end, I just felt like that whatever happened to Spinster, it's going to happen again. I went with my Miss Sophia. If I have any concern, is that her jockey is not really well known for his big time racing. However, when he was based at Delaware, he rode against Rosie Ramon Dominguez, who has a couple of Breeders' Cup wins under his belt before retiring. Jeremy Rose, who was second in the juvenile with a Fleet Alex. So I think Joe Rocco is going to be fine in this. And I believe he's ridden in the Breeders' Cup once or twice before, I think. But he's really starting to come on in as his own rider. And facing this type of quality jockeys will not be a problem. Of course, my Miss Sophia, she really hasn't faced this type of field before. I mean, she's faced horses in the field, but not all at the same time. So that if there was any, other than it being only her third Grade 1 start, if that was any concern, that would be one. But I just feel like she is right in the zone right now, and I feel like that she will win this year's Distaff. I'd Closed Hatches for second because she was the runner-up last year in this race. And even without Beholder, I think she could easily win or finish second again. And then third, I have Tis Midnight. I was debating on whether to put her or Untappable there. And I don't know about, I'm really concerned about Untappable. So I put Tis Midnight there instead. For my dark horse, I have Stanwyck. If she can show that Tiago Giacomo blood in her, she could surprise people. I think also Untappable has a chance. I have Tappa, Bel Ganti, let's see, Ria Antonia even. I think the only two who don't are the European, L'Amour de ma vie and Unbridled Forever, just based on how well they've done in the past, but I could be wrong. But again, I'm going with, for the win, my Miss Sophia. For second, I have Closed Hatches. And for third, I have Tis Midnight, and my dark horse is Stanwyck. Now, tomorrow, there are two videos. The Turf and the Classic. The Classic will be up probably at night. I'm not 100% sure when I'm going to put that up. But that will probably be up around 8-ish. Let's see what time this stuff is. Okay, it's at 4:35 Pacific, which is 4:35, yes, 7:35 here in the U.S. So, on the East Coast, I should say. So that will probably be up about 8:30 after I get all my recaps written for tomorrow. The Classic will be up. So look for it around 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow night. But I'm going to record it during the day, of course. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to record that video first and then the Turf. That way I don't have enough time to have at least a video on the Classic. But until tomorrow, I hope everyone has safe racing, and I will be back tomorrow. So bye.